If you're anything like me, we have a little dirty spot here in my truck. And if you're anything like me, you like a very clean truck, even though that means you just need to do a quick little touch up on it here. So the reason I'm doing this here, I'm taking my truck to the dealer to get some warranty work done on it. I want it to look spick and span. So I'm just gonna run through this short little process. It should take maybe half an hour to complete here. I'm just going to reapply some leather detailer, leather cleanser on the seats, vacuum the truck out quick, which I don't have anything to vacuum except my driver's side, and put some quick detail on the door panels here. And then finally I'm going to clean the windows and kind of polish off the door trim here, that kind of chrome door trim. So I'm going to show you what it takes to do that and what products I use here to go about this process here. So as you can see, the exterior of the truck is a little bit dirty. We're not going to worry about that right now. It's supposed to snow a little later on. As you can see, it is a little foggy out there. There might be some snow in the distance. So we're going to actually give this a really nice hand wash tomorrow before my appointment with the dealer. But this morning, we are going to touch up the truck. So floor mats really don't need that much of a detail here, but I am going to do my driver's side. Passenger and rear passengers are well detailed already. The only thing that needs a really good detail here, just a quick vacuum, honestly. Or you don't even need a vacuum if you have a sink like I do. So I'm just going to pull this out quick and get it wet, kind of get it soapy, clean it off, and put some Meguiar's Hyper dressing on that. So to get started, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to get this truck looking brand new again. I have 4 products here. Don't mind this rich leather Gold Class by Meguiar's. I essentially fill the leather cleaner conditioner into that spray bottle just to conserve some plastics. So I am going to first wash that driver's side floor mat and spray some Hyper dressing on it, allow it to air dry. Next, I'm going to go through, spray some leather cleaner and conditioner onto the seats and get those detailed. And the third step is to use the Meguiar's Ultimate Interior Detailer and finally hit it with some invisible glass cleaner. So we're going to start with pulling out the driver's side doormat, cleaning it quick, and spraying some of the Hyper dressing on. I did bring out the vacuum for this, so I am just vacuuming the edge quick. Maybe do a quick little seat vacuum here and go over this so it doesn't get any sand or debris onto my carpet. All right, that is cleaned. We could pull this out now. All right, we've got our water running here. I put a little bit of dish soap here on my brush. We'll get that wet, and then I put a little bit of dish soap here on my floor mat. So you can see my floor mat really wasn't that dirty, but we're just going to go over it very lightly here, kind of some of the dirtier spots, and get the brush wet again. Really go over it lightly. There's no need on these cleaner mats here to really get them, spotless, as they're going to be spotless either way once we rinse them off. All right, so that was about 30 seconds of work. Not too hard. Now, we're going to try to get this clean, at least soap off of it. All right, so that is clean. Next thing we're going to do here is just actually leave it in the sink like so. Take our Hyper dressing. You can be, depending on how much money you want to spend, you could be liberal or you can be conservative with the spraying amount. This is about what I do on my floor mats. And that will ensure the whole floor mat is covered. and it will dry. We're gonna let that dry, and we're gonna go to moving on to the rest of the truck. We are now moving into the truck. So I have kind of mixed feelings on this here. So if you can see how this stuff spreads. I have a little Alcantara on there. I'm not worried about that. But if you are doing a vehicle that is a little higher price than my Ram truck here, which was still really expensive, you can go ahead, spray this into your towel, and call it good. And I like to do that. I like to spray the actual solution into the towel as well, to get it moisturized and lubricated. And then what I like to do is just go around and make sure that I'm getting the surfaces cleansed and hydrated. But in my back seats here, I literally have so much room in my Ram truck that I don't have to worry about spraying onto the bottom part of the seats until I get up to here. And then, the closer I get to windows or exterior or interior surfaces here, then I like to spray onto the towel. And then I like to go and actually finish the detail off. Pretty easy. All right. So we're going to continue to do this here. You can see I'm spraying into the towel because we don't need any of that where we're detailing. We don't need any of that to leak onto the surfaces of the interior of the car. After this, I am going to be working on the interior detailer portion of it. So door panels, trim, stuff like that. That's where you want to be a little bit more careful here. So you can see here, I don't have anything around this part here that is going to get damaged or, that I don't want the leather detailer to touch. So I just sprayed it right on the seat, rubbing it in, and you can be pretty violent here with how you brush in the leather detailer, especially with these towels. So essentially, I'm going to work on the rest of this truck here, getting done with the leather detailing portion of it, and then move on to the door panels and other interior pieces. As always, don't forget to do your leather wrap steering wheel. I sprayed a little bit of product onto my towel. I'm just going to rub that around pretty forcefully, actually, around the steering wheel. And I do have to detail the steering wheel anyway, so if a little gets onto the plastic trim, that's okay. But you want your steering wheel to last. This is something you touch every time you get in the vehicle, so it's super important to keep this thing clean and keep the leather conditioned. Otherwise, the previous owner of this truck, you can see, had some issues right here because he didn't take care of this truck very well. So I'm making sure I'm trying to restore it and bringing it back to its original glory. So just always remember to get that steering wheel, all angles, make sure it's clean. So we're moving to the actual harder part of the detail here. The door panels, the trim panels, that type of stuff. So I did the seats, they're all shiny and nice. So I have my towel, and this is where it gets really important here. You want to make sure you're spraying your product into the towel and get it liberally covered. Some pieces you can really be careful depending on what you have in your shop or your detail area. You can be careful about spraying them, but if you do it this way, if you do it the less careful way, you're going to have to realize that you're going to have overspray. So what you're going to have to do is take that glass cleaner at the end of the step. That's why I always do the glass at the end and get this trim kind of cleaned up. You can see here I've sprayed my towel. I've got that wet. Now I'm just going through here and cleaning the trim pieces and whatever needs to be cleaned. So if you have Alcantara like I do, try not to get that too oversaturated with the spray. And that's where, depending on how careful you want to be, Like in my 300, I'm really careful. My SRT, I tend to just spray the product into the towel, and then I go ahead and do this process here. But again, there's no reason for me really to clean this plastic or the soft touch materials here, because this was not dirty to begin with. So I'm just applying the detailer at this point, and it's bringing it back, bringing its shine back to what it should be. So I'm just going through, cleaning it off. Boom, this door panel is done. So eventually I'm going to come through with an extra towel, get all the sludge off that is on like the chrome pieces here that you can see and the window. But we're just going to move around here. So you can see, if you're careful, you're not going to get any overspray. But just make sure your towel is wet, so when you go through and you're getting this hard plastic, that it's all getting covered and it's shiny. So now I'm going to do the rest of the truck, and we'll revisit when we are done. We have moved on to our last step now. So we have our towel and our invisible glass cleaner. So this does not take a lot, and specifically I like to spray this glass cleaner onto the towel. Like I said, it doesn't take a ton. And then we're just going to go through, wipe off the window. And these are actually new towels that I got. I'm trying the waffle variety of towels here in order to wipe off everything. And I like the way how they work. I like the way they clean the window, and it's pretty much spotless. So I am going to take this, and it doesn't take a lot because you do not want to overspray with the window cleaner, because then the windows aren't going to dry like this. We're getting our overspray of the interior solution that we were using earlier. And now we're just cleaning off the window. So this is the last step. We will revisit once I'm done with the windows, which should only take another 5 minutes. All right, we're on to the final step. So we're just, after we finish the windows, we're just going around all the little chrome areas or tungsten areas, whatever you want to call them. Make sure they are clean. Any of the piano black plastic, make sure that is clean from glare. Not a great showing of what I'm doing here. So there we go. You got some piano black plastic, some of this chromish area here going around, making sure that's clean. Steering wheel and the instrument cluster, making sure that's clean of any of the sludge we've been using. We already did the center display. And all I have to do now is just finish what I'm doing and put my floor mat back in. Like I said, I'm going to wash the truck tomorrow, so I'm not really caring of what the exterior looks like here. It's actually been a week since I've washed my truck, which for me, having to shop like this is quite an amazement. But it hasn't snowed until last night, so hence the roads are wet, so I'm not going to waste my time. All right, last door panel, and then we are done. Okay, so we started this video at about 9:20. It is now 10 o'clock. So that was a quick 40-minute detail. Detailed the whole interior of the truck in a quick 40 minutes. Looks brand spanking new. Again, this was a very light detail. Definitely not a heavy, hardcore detail, as this truck doesn't need it. So there we go. Those are the products I use to get results like perfection.